continue this full court pressure, Arizona can get out in transition and get some easy hoops like that one for Gordon.
Bangs over to Drillett. For the season.
Made 14 on the year. Made one against Gonzaga the other day. But you see, he's got a decent stroke.
Oh, what a move by Thames.
All right, thanks a lot. Thank you, Mark.
He is the Pac-12 Coach of the Year in his 5th season as head coach of Arizona, Sean Miller. San Diego State in possession as we open up the second. Thames gets right to it by O'Brien. Double screen set up and Thames takes it back.
He and Nick Johnson were 0 for 13 combined, and somehow Arizona is within one.
As Thames are just checked back in with a runner.
30 wins, second most in their program's history.
And you saw Corey Brown being left all alone. Scanner report that San Diego State has is to make him shoot. He's the only non-shooter of the perimeter players. So you don't know the plays another team runs in the NCAA tournament, but you do know their personnel.
Xavier Thames shot just 6 of 7. Whatever it takes. Here's Xavier Thames going to try a deep 3. Rebound weak side O'Brien. Shot clock resets. So North Dakota State making a little push. Cutting in a deficit in half to 5.
You see Steve Fisher going to that lineup with his 2 shooters to try and stretch out this defense.
Thames turning the corner. 20 points for this
plan. And that they want to get the ball to their best player. Run some clock, turn the ball over side to side, and then let him do work. I mean, Thames can just chill out, wait till there's about 15 on the clock, get the ball. Poli comes and sets the screen. Now they have Davis set the screen.
Thames zigzagging to the rim. Their lead at 10. Rising, running out of time. Thames and company up 10, in control with 3:40 left. Again, if you've just joined us, the winner of this one advances to Anaheim and the Sweet 16 next week. Thames hits again.
Of any team in the country. They are a tremendous defensive team. They struggle to score sometimes, but they may win ugly, but they've won a lot ugly.
Second nationally in scoring defense, under 57 a game, 8th in the country in field goal defense percentage.
With the shot clock under 10. Froma down the lane. Scoops it up. No good. Tip no good. Rebound Young.
Well, UConn is just struggling to find any kind of look.
Wilbekin. Defender on the deck. No foul back.
As Reggie's been saying, a great equalizer. When they're on defense, they're going to have to make a decision. Do they extend their defense and start challenging those long threes, but that opens them up for gaps and driving and posting up? Or do they stay back and play the law of averages, because Dayton, on the whole in the tournament, shooting 35%.
I loved the confidence that Dayton has shown. They played from behind in all these NCAA games, in Ohio State, Syracuse, and even Stanford. This team knows how to play from behind. They just want to stay close to Florida and let their shooters and scorers take over.
The shot clock now is down to 5. Wilbekin. Adams, the Ware twins out there for UCLA, and Norman Powell. That's the Bruin 5.
They got 2 guys that can stretch the floor in the Ware twins. And they got their main man, Kyle Anderson, who saddled with some foul trouble. Really probably wasn't himself playing as aggressively as he'd like.
Holford by Finney-Smith. Picked up by Yeget. Wilbekin on the fly. Ahead it goes. Frazier. Wilbekin, 6.5 to go.
And now's the time for Florida, if they want to push this lead out. It's time for them to start getting surgical, going after the guys that are in foul trouble for UCLA.
And if you're out, be a 1-on-1 situation. Young's only a 60% free throw shoot.
Shot clock down to 2. Finney-Smith. And he gets an offensive board. A killer for the Panthers. Wow. 14 offensive rebounds for Florida.
Well, we saw St. Louis employ the foul strategy the other night. They started it early, and if you're the Pitt Panthers, you're running out of time to try to employ that strategy now.
Well, the clock just ticking away on Pitt's season. Wilbekin to the basket with the left. Scotty Wilbekin.
Another shot. Now what you don't want to do if you're the Great Danes is allow Florida to go off on some run that puts you down 8 or 10 at halftime.
That was the other Aussie connection. Luke Devlin, 1 of 4 from down under as Wilbekin answers. Younger brother of Sam Rowley checks in. Doesn't see a lot of playing time. Albany's rotation is really only 7 deep. But they're having to call on a couple of guys here. It's Wilbekin knifes his way in, and he gets a roll. Scotty Wilbekin.
Defensively or offensively, but it's how we want to win this game. How bad you want it. That's all he wanted to get across, guys.
Well, they had valuable possessions when they had him on the bench. And here he takes the shot, coming back in.
Casey Prather with 7 for the Gators. Samuel gets to the front court. Boatwright guarded by Frazier. Pulls it back out. Giffey. Boatwright to Napier. Giffey, good three-point shooter, but denied on the wing. Napier down the lane. Too easy. Mike.
Two-point game. Here's Boatwright. Well, they love to dance, but not going for it early. Look at the step back. This time they do. Look at this kid. Wow, get the lingerie. They do, but terrific coordination on the D. Finally, Appling and Napier shoving each other as they come across midcourt. 1:50 to go. A little rest here for Shabazz. Nolan with the screen. There's Payne again.
Guys in the studio, about 26 blocks north of Madison Square Garden.
And we'll get to see it all. Bradman with a ball screen that gets to the rim. That's where he can be most dangerous.
Giffey. Now it's in the hands of Lasan Korma, a fifth-year senior, in his first year at UConn. There's Napier again.
Can't go under.
Boy. Amida Brima. Archidianco. That's for 3. Nope. Terrence Samuel on the floor. Here's Giffey. Back outside.
Napier's really looked like a point guard the last couple of trips, didn't he? That pass. Automatic switching. Step fade away.
Yes.
Oh, boy, this kid.
Kanasevic. Spin. No. Here comes UConn. 2-on-3. Boatwright will slow it down. And then dart to the middle.
That's a tough pass.
Yeah, it really is.
Good gather. And it's great to have guards. And knock down deep. A squisher. Soft.
Excuse me, Bill are back on the floor. Here's Shabazz Napier. To a 1-point gain. And 1.
Shot selection so important as you can down the stretch. And Bembry. Guards and Bembry.
90 seconds to go.
Shortening the game now, Vern. Don't want to get stuck too late.
Shot clock at 12. Nice cross. Napier.
Woo! Just try to make you play over them and not give you opportunities to attack.
Tapped out to Walton. Walton Jr. over to Robinson on the wing. And Stauskas going to deal with this matchup with Aaron Harrison. The switch off gives him the chance. Get right back onto the floor. Stauskas. Pull up jumper. Soft touch. Down to Dakari Johnson. Robinson again a couple of times. Playing really big on that defensive end rebounding wise. LeVert was trying to find Robinson on the baseline, but that was well defended. We move inside of 6 minutes. First half. Stauskas. Basket. Kentucky. Ball tapped around. Back to Dakari Johnson. And into the hands of Stauskas. Looking for a lane. Finds it. Puts it up for two. In the paint. Shot short. And Morgan snags it.
Really good job on that post defense by Morgan there. And also a lot of digging.
Stauskas has the three ball.
To your point, two freshmen, they've played all season long. And the stage has gotten bigger now, so it'll be interesting to see which one of those win that individual matchup.
Stauskas, Big Ten player of the year, with a clear mind to lead his team deeper into the madness.
And Lewis, John Beelan talked about the fact that Stauskas has always been more of a third wheel, but got physically stronger, ready to take on more, and all aspects of his game have really improved from year one to year two, and obviously the numbers bear that out. And just his approach, he admitted that there was a tentativeness to his game during parts of his freshman year.
Well, he's going to be tested this afternoon and this evening as he shoots that one off the little jump screen. He had a few good looks, actually, but they look fairly comfortable on the floor. The key becomes if Michigan runs their sets like they are right now, will they get these open shots?
Stauskas, a three.
Junior out of Westerville, Ohio. Son of Jim Jackson, a star at Ohio State, NBA player for 14 years, and now a color analyst in the Big Ten.
Well, one thing we know with Wisconsin, they're not going to get frustrated and impatient with the ball. They lead the league in fewest turnovers, maybe the country fewest turnovers. It's Wisconsin just showing that patience, working the ball, and just finding a good look.
Oh, Johnson goes glass. Beautiful. Keeping it away from the 7-footer Tarczewski.
It was the position that he got before the pass came, Marv, that really was the key to that play. Beautiful play.
And another nice move, this time Nick Johnson.
Lavon Jackson, that's kind of the safety valve for Wisconsin. Late in the shot clock, they like that high screen and roll for him. He's able to get that shot off because of his quickness and his ball handling ability. Kind of lulls you to sleep and rises up. Just couldn't knock that one down.
Here's Johnson. Nick. The Arizona lead is one, just under 6 remaining. Second half.
Arizona trying to get the ball into Tarczewski on the block, but good defense from Kaminsky fronting him.
Johnson down the lane, throws it home.
Same move we
shaping up inside, the good deep catch again.
The sophomore is 3 out of 4 from the floor. Johnson nearly coughed it up, gets it back. And Johnson, it's a tough shot.
This is as impressive a game as I've seen so far, with Florida and Virginia being the other two. And they just completely dismantled Gonzaga this evening.
Arizona averages 4 blocks per game. Their season high is 8, already 5 here in the first half.
And because of the foul trouble now, Weber State having to go into a zone, try to protect some people, make Arizona beat them from the perimeter.
Nine to shoot for Arizona. Johnson, deep three. It's good. Nick Johnson.
And I'm sitting next to the resident expert on curling in the country, maybe.
Had to get that in there. Johnson, deep three is good. Nick Johnson has
fighting over the screen rather than switching, and that allowed them to stay man on man and allowed Randall to get that block. So we'll see if UConn now makes the adjustment in terms of how they run their pick and roll to attack what they're seeing.
Kentucky with 10 points in the first 10 minutes, and then
I think it's Napier's game tonight. Just with the matchups, the way this game is being played, I think he's headed for a huge night.
Andrew Harrison.
Both teams would have momentum swings, and it ultimately would come down to execution down the stretch, and thus far that's playing out.
There's Andrew Harrison.
He just lost the ball on that play, really. Stauskas made a terrific find there to get him an opportunity at the rim. He just could not maintain possession.
Randall with another double-double. His 24th of the year. Seven to shoot. Harrison puts it on his hip and banks it off. Back out to Jones, and his pass is stolen. Again, the Cardinals without Russ Smith on the floor.
Little span in this matchup zone.
Harrison hit his last 3 shots, make it 4. His brother's production on this floor from earlier today. He now has 5.
Yeah, and a great hard basket cut by early forced help that created the opportunity for Wiggins on the weak side.
It's a big shot there for the Shockers. Your point about these freshmen for Kentucky. As one of them right there, Andrew Harrison takes it to the basket +1.
Try and play through it like he did against Wichita State.
And went right back out there and hit 2 free throws. Kid's amazing. 11-3 stretch here for the Wildcats. Oh! Hello! 9 rebounds. Smith driving in. Oh, and he floats it home.
They've been the more poised team here down the stretch. They've been a lot more effective in their half-court offense than Lobo has. He's taken some questionable shots and had a few turnovers.
Now Smith in the lane, and he puts Louisville back.
Well, Manning, just a 48% free throw shooter, knocks them both down. Single-digit deficit for St. Louis. Under a minute to go in the first half. Smith, that's a 2, and right
to make a field goal.
See if Louisville has an answer here. Give the ball to Russ Smith, and Russ Smith knows what to do with it. Not foul on Louisville. Louisville gets a couple of points and the ball. Barnett clears it away. Jordan Jet. Oh, he is a tough guard, can get to the hole, and a little floater
On the game, and they found a way to win that one. And they've dug themselves a really difficult hole here, but if they can make some shots, they might climb back in this one.
Now, the Billikens have never advanced to the Sweet 16. Program history is Jordan Jet with the left right out of the half.
Boy, what a worker in there.
Evans is giving up some size as well. Jet to the basket. Jordan is all recruited by Rick Majerus. Their 3rd consecutive trip to the NCAA tournament, but it looks like it's going to come up short of a Sweet 16 again as Jet goes to the hole.
Carolina State to clear out that side for him, so he had the opportunity. That was a long step that he had to take to the basket. Evans very nearly blocked it.
TJ Warren with 12 points. 6 out of 15. Here's Jet. And the jump shot goes down.
Barnett to reach in. But, you know, when you're trying to drive the ball to the basket with that little time left on the clock, your options are really limited. Now, if you're trying to drive...
How about this? Clock running. Shot clock is off. See what St. Louis does here. Jet's going to go to the hole, and he's fouled. And count it!
Defensively against the balls here in this first half.
Robinson with the first step to the basket. And Tennessee's down 12. Richardson hits the floor, hits the shot against Arizona.
And you know, John Beilein talked about it when we were there for that game. You know, he felt like he wouldn't grow and mature into this. And nice finish there by Richardson.
Corsi for 2.
And that's one advantage. We're talking about the wide bigs for Tennessee, but how about the tall one big for Mercer that they have the advantage down low.
Floater, Richardson, down it goes.
7 minutes, and if they utilize those tactics, once again, not settling for shots, penetrating, making the Tennessee defense shift, and then finding open man, they're going to have some success. But they still, as we both have mentioned, they got to get on the board.
Yes. Moore, Richardson.
35-11 advantage in rebounding for Tennessee.
Richardson and over Hall. Got it. He's hit 2 in a row.
Zone pressure here. Kind of disrupt UMass.
Jazz Williams uncorking a 3. Rebound by Neiman. Outlet to Richardson.
Good recognition by Josh Richardson. Didn't have numbers, got it back to Thompson to start the set again.
Richardson. And that was right over. Who averages 5 points a game.
Well, if you're Fran McCaffrey, you're pleased that your guys are sticking around the basket, getting offensive rebounds. And if you're Conzo Martin, you can't believe that I was getting good position under there. You're stronger. You can root them out, but nobody from Tennessee is doing anything about it.
7 for the Hawks.
Talked about this Iowa bench. They average almost 31 points a game, 19 rebounds and 3 blocks. Solid effort by everyone here for the Hawkeyes.
It's Richardson.
And he showed a nice little pass by Shabazz to initiate that.
Shabazz has Kane. There's the corner turn. Nice pass. Bad reaction. And it fortunately falls into the hands of Monte Morris.
This team is just unabashed, fearless in their deep threat. Just like that. Crazy.
And the has to climb within single digits now. Iowa State has been beyond belief in the last 5 minutes of the last 5 games. I mean, extraordinary shooting the ball.
So composed, the rise, and now by State is up by 2. James with a wild shot. This is Thomas moving it across. Hands it right back to Kane, who looks over at Fred Hoiberg, who calls the play.
So far, Iowa State out-rebounding North Carolina 16-12. That was the major concern for Fred Hoiberg coming into today. I think the speed and the quickness of this team has helped them get that edge.
8 of those rebounds hauled in by Kane. Kane, nice move, got the step out.
You kind of expected without George Niang, but as long as they continue to make threes, I think that's the key. 8 for 21, but just 1 here in the second half.
Here's Kane, who got the step, and he scores. Offense shooting. Iowa State has a timeout left. North Carolina with 2. This is Kane handling, working the clock down. Kane with a high dribble, takes to the rim, goes glass and hits. Iowa State.
Buy into it. You know, some players could lose confidence if they were staring over at the coach every time they made a mistake, but these guys buy into it.
Rebounded by Austin. See the height advantage right there. 9-0 run for Baylor. Austin up top to set the screen. Baylor University, located in Waco, Texas, about a 3-hour drive from San Antonio. They have a huge alumni base, particularly in Dallas. Cherry again.
Causing havoc in the paint.
Straight over 5 minutes gone by in this second half. 3 block shots for Baylor, and they've altered several others. O'Neal collapsed down low on Jefferson. On the shot clock, Cherry with a deep 3. Kenny Cherry from the crowd as Shields hits only his second field goal. He has both Nebraska scores, and the Nebraska contingent coming alive. Here's Cherry with the jumper.
But that very easily could have been called.
Eslick backs it up. Cherry checking over at the bench. Once again, Cherry checking with the head coach, Scott Drew. Walking the sideline. Here's Cherry with space. Yes. One of the
makes jump shots right there. So
there's Whittington. Little off the mark.
Good non-foul, too.
Ennis.
Got him a touch, though.
Baseline. Jeremy Grant.
Whatever you need. That's the way he recovery defensively, though. You skip it, and they're right there on the catch.
I think Roberson he altered the shot for sure. And he might have actually touched it. Winner of this one, Syracuse will advance to take on Dayton on Saturday. Dayton, if you did miss it, last second basket off the glass by V. Sanford to provide, and that's that.
Oh! Against Cyber!
And one. What a counter. And Pinochet. Cyber picks up Ennis. Screen from Christmas. They go for two. They got it.
Smart. And they're getting big on